All right, hello everyone. So 19th of May, Monday. So these are the hours that I've already posted here for Monday, right? So let's take a look at gold. So it's a new week, as you can see. So we've closed lower than the previous, so it is a bit bearish. Going downwards back into this zone is okay. I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm just going to get rid of this arrow. Right, so we do have a bit more room to come down. At the bottom there, we've got a pricing 3116, 3094, 3116 is down here. $3,094. And this 2,992. Let's just add it there in any case. Now today's a swing day on gold. So Monday high. Also last week, I think we had a Friday, didn't we? No, it was Monday or Tuesday. Okay, fair enough. So Monday. So on Monday, on the daily, as you can see, this could go up or down. Now last week I talked about impulse. I said this is bearish, so the market should sell on Friday. It did. If we come up to 37.5, it's that bar, that zone is 3316. Okay, so 3316 is one place to sell off. Okay, so if we break up above the high of Friday and close above like a few bars, if we muck around here a little bit, then going up there is logical. If not, there's a slight gap here. The better times to trade is going to be this 3 p.m. and this 9:20. All right, so this 9:20. Now this 9:20 can break. We'll have to see how this pans out. If it does break, it'll break into 11:30, and if it should keep going if it does all the way into 3 o'clock. Okay, so that could, if it breaks here until 11:30, then we should flow into 3 o'clock. Okay, and then 3 o'clock is not a bad hour to trade. And then we've got 7:30 here, which is also okay. All right. Other than that, there is no hour. So if it bounces off, it's an option. But if we're up somewhere, I'd rather sell into it. Okay. If we're down somewhere, it's a little tricky because it's not going to be sexy until 3 a.m. All right, so it's just not going to be sexy until 3 a.m. So we'll have to see how things pan out. Okay, and that's basically it. So there's a bit of a gap here. As you can see, they've closed that gap here. We'll see how this thing pans out. If it pulls back into here and you want to buy with a tight stop loss, you can. It's doable. If it mucks around here or here at these hours and you want to sell at the tops, it's also doable. So it's a little tricky. I have to be careful. Okay. Because last week I also mentioned if that's the impulse, we can go sideways and keep falling, or we can go up a little bit and sell off, okay? And this is turning into a flag formation. So buying the lows is okay, also okay, but we're just not at the lows. The PSD is 35 here, which is 3,099. All right, so 3,099 is on the daily. So this is daily, this is weekly, okay? So this zone is nice. All right, so weekly and daily. On the monthly, we've already done that, 75, which is 3,117, which is there. All right, so this is still doable. This is still doable. We'll have to see how things pan out. All right, it's just a little tricky because we're in between levels. So if we're at the tops, you want to sell, okay, just keep in mind this 37.5 here, 3,316, which are marked in there. All right, if the market goes up from here, like I said, this hour isn't bad. This is like energetic, sexy here, okay? So we'll see how things go. Just do it with a grain of salt, like they say, a little bit of caution. Euro dollar, let's take a look at the weekly. Now, as you can see, this is an indecision bar. Let's take a look at the daily. Can we break out? We might be able to break out. Gold's got Monday, Tuesday for a swing day. Yeah, going up doesn't look too bad actually. So if I do this Monday, Tuesday, alright, so I've got 2 days. Okay, that's that. So we'll have to see. Okay, we'll have to see how this pans out here. That resistance is like a bit over, over breached. 1187. 1187 is pretty much on the dot here. Okay, so this gap fill, selling here, 930 is it? 950, 920. So it's on that bar. Yeah. So also selling is also okay. And there's room to come there, which is nice. This would be so good because it's right on the zone there. If that's the impulse 37, there's still room to come down here as well. Well, as intraday traders, we're going to have to see how things pan out. Okay, so this could go both ways. If it breaks out, we can go in that direction. If it doesn't, we can come down into 41, which is 1061. 1061. So if this starts to fall, we've got room to come down into 1061. Down here. So selling the highs, selling this zone, okay? Selling this zone down is okay. If we break above though, let's say, because we're not low, we're not high. All right, we're not low, we're not high, so we're in between. We're at a breakout or a fall down zone. If I was to do this, this would be a sell zone too. So selling this is okay. All right, selling this is okay. At trading hours, if we're around here, selling is okay. But remember, I did say this, there could be a breakout on this. Okay, so that breakout could be to the downside or to the upside, but it should happen until 11:20. All right, so this is going to be the zone. All right, if that's the case, then it should go all the way into 3 o'clock. So we'll have to see how things pan out. What you can do, you can wait for a breakout. Okay, if the market breaks above this, then you can go with it. If it breaks down, you can go with it. There's gaps to fill here. Okay, so you don't have to go in on the dot. You could wait for that direction to eventuate. Okay, SP 500, new week, new bar, here we are. Okay, so that target is done on the PST, nice and easy. Okay, SP 500 Monday swing day, so one sell, it's a Monday swing day. Okay, Friday was a swing day, Monday is a swing day. So we do want to sell. Okay, and we should come back down into 60. We should come back down into 5838, 5847. So if we go up, you want to sell 5847. 38 here. All right, which makes sense. So there's also a nice breakdown here. So if we go up, selling again is the way to go for us. On the weekly, let's see if we've got room. If this thing breaks, 55, 5879, just under 55 is 54, so 5855. That's that. That's a support zone. So we should go up to sell 58. Well, it's pretty much here. Okay, so I'm not going to put that in. All right, because it's pretty much down there. So if we go up into a trading hour, we are okay to sell. There's a bit of a gap here, as you can see. Okay, so that was nice and tricky, wasn't it? Right on the closing, they've trapped everybody in there. So everybody there is now trapped. So if we go up, selling is the option. You can do that around 3 o'clock. If you want, you can put 455 onto your lines as well. Okay, which is, well, I've got 5 o'clock there anyway. Alright, so you can do that too. 315. 5 o'clock. Okay, 725. Alright, so if we're up somewhere, selling is okay in my opinion. Selling in this zone is okay. If it breaks out, in any case, you don't want to be there, but as you can see, we're already quite high. That's the goodbye kiss. Target done. Pushing in. Alright, maybe a gap fill, maybe. Okay, but if it breaks out, in any case, you won't be in that trade. So this is one place to sell off where they sold heavy. Okay, the other place is going to be there. That's the bar, that's the wick. Okay, so stop losses can be behind there as well. But selling the highs at trading hours, I'm okay with. NASDAQ, Dow Jones, Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Nasdaq is Dow Jones and Nasdaq have tomorrow, so they've got different days. Tomorrow, let's just double check. Yep, tomorrow's also a potential. So, okay, so this, let's just refresh. Let's get a better 1 hour simple. Let's just do this. Alright, so on the Dow Jones, because we've got tomorrow, Nasdaq's also tomorrow. Now, because Dow Jones and Nasdaq both have tomorrow, this week is a bit tricky like last week, because we've got now 4 days. Alright, if you take a look and if you correlate them, got 4 days. So what to do? Question. Now look, this place 9:15, 9:20 is there, and it's pretty much on here. Okay, this is a lot of people trapped. If we don't fill this, okay, but we come up here, if we're like sideways, 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 you know, going all of a sudden down is probably what might happen. Okay, and that we should be okay for. On the daily, that sell is 62, 42, 590. Is right there. So if we 42, 590, if we come back up here, okay, at trading hours, you can sell off tomorrow as well, that zone. The value will be a bit different. So if we don't do anything today with it, okay, you're going to have to mark it in for tomorrow. Okay, so Tuesday for this as well. Friday was a swing day. This is the zone. That support level is 57. If that breaks, 42.076. 42.076 is down here. Even if this doesn't break, it should break. Okay, but it should. If it's going to go up, it's going to come down. So if it goes up, selling is not a bad idea. All right. And this will be your first target. On the weekly, your support is 50, 41.923. Which is going to be there. Alright, so we've got room to come down into that weekly zone there. Okay. Can it keep pushing up? Well, you know, it can. Okay, it can, because Tuesday on this one is going to be a swing day. If we're down here at a support on Tuesday, we can buy as well. So we'll be just following it up. Okay, but at the end of the day, this is a sell zone. All right, so selling in the zone here at trading hours, I'm okay to do so at pricing. Just make sure you get your pricing sorted out. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same kind of thing. This zone, as you know, is a sell zone. All right, on the daily, you got 70, 21,429, 21,400, 21,400. 21,400, 429 is there. All right, so this zone is again a sell zone. Can we go into there? Well, yeah, we can go into there. This had a pretty sharp fall. Okay, as you can see, let's take a look at the weekly. It's got a swing day Tuesday, so maybe we'll go up into Tuesday. 50. Well, look, if you're using PST, that's 56, 21,012, 21,000. 56. 21,012. That's weird. Alright, it's a bit down. Let's do this. So we should head into the weekly. Alright, same thing here. Basically they're just bouncing off support. If that level breaks, we've got room to come down. This is a sell zone, so we want to be selling here. Okay, there's a bit of a gap there, so you have to be careful. Okay, mind the gap, like I always say, which is there, which is what I've already marked in. Okay, so if we head up somewhere, into that zone, then selling is okay. Okay, that turned out to a breakout, so this is not happening until tomorrow. So if we go up into tomorrow to close the gap, then we can sell off. Alright, and that's how it is. This thing should come all the way back down, all the way back into here. Alright, so if we're at the tops at swing days, we want to be selling. And that's how it is. Alright, fair enough. As you can see, market's very volatile, so you're going to have to make sure your timing and pricing is good. Alright, like I always say as well, if you want, you can wait for a U-turn or a breakout on a smaller time frame to clarify what the direction is. So if we're up on a Tuesday and you want to sell into the, into those targets down, it's doable. Okay, if you want to buy from the lows, if we come down here, it's also doable because it's that weekly level there, 56, 21,012. The trend is still up, so buying here at a trade hour, not a bad idea if it matches. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. So got Monday, Thursday. Got Monday. Monday. That's your Monday. Alright, so that's your Monday. Nice and easy. From the targets, as you can see, right on the dot if you're using PST, spot on LCL1 107346. So that's good. So I've got room to pull down. As you can see, there's big divergence here. Alright, the price is pretty much up here, but you see there's like, it's just like not happening. Alright, there's not a lot of drive behind it. So selling is okay. At trading hours you want to sell, you can. Okay, they've just trapped a bunch of people there, so the market should break below. We should see ourselves back down 95,000. So $95 is on the cards. We'll just renew the template. If we raise our heads up back here, that's where the fall happened, causing a breakout. Okay, so if we go back up, selling is okay. This is one zone, and you see they've trapped people here, so this is now an impulse. Any pull up into the closing this gap or up here, then selling is going to be okay. Currently this is looking like a stop sweep, but remember what I said, we could break down because there's a breaking aspect happening there. Alright, so this 9.15, okay, this is not a bad spot. If the market doesn't go up, it's going to break down. So we have to be smart about it and not just dive in. Okay, so knowing when we might have a breakout is the way, and this might just flow all the way down into, like I said, 3 o'clock, so, and even afterwards into 7:30, so be mindful. I always say don't buy the tops. So if you did that, fine. If you bought the top and took profit because you see the profit targets, that's also okay, because if you're breaking out and you bought a breakout on a PST yesterday, right, that's fine, but you have to understand you're at the tops and you got to get your money and get out, so that's how it is. At the tops you can't buy and hold, otherwise you might be holding for years, you never know. So look out for that 95,000 zone, because if the market reverses, that's one zone we're coming into. If we break more than that, then we're coming into there. We'll see how things pan out. Alright, and that's basically it. Any questions, queries? If you have any problems, just reach out and I'll try to help out as well.